Welcome back to the Hip Joint. Episode 11 takes us on our first trip to Mars, where the professor teaches at Mars University. Bender meets up with some members of his old fraternity for some Animal House-style mayhem, and Fry meets his greatest foe, a smart monkey. Another solid episode with plenty of laughs and characters to introduce, so let's get this started. Welcome to the Hip Joint. Futurama fans get in free. The cold open this episode is pretty straightforward. We get another
good news, everyone,
from the professor as he brings in a crate to be shipped to Mars. It's here we learn that the professor is a professor at Mars University, which was shown in episode 8 during the flashback when the professor gave Wernstrom an A-.
No one gives Arden Wernstrom an A-.
The scene ends with the professor tranquilizing whatever is inside the crate.
Off we go!
Now, when the aliens arrive on Earth and learn of Futurama's existence, they will undoubtedly like and subscribe to this channel, and I want to make sure they have a good subtitle translation so they can fully enjoy these videos. But that can only happen with your support of hitting that like and subscribe button, and even sharing to the Futurama fans in your life. This episode's opening cartoon is a 1943 Looney Tunes classic, Pigs in Polka. The episode starts with everyone landing on Mars, and as they walk around discussing how Mars University came to be, the professor mentions Mars being uninhabitable like Utah. And to me, Utah is good for at least one thing.
Here we go. Can you keep the foot on the pedal? Backflip table.
Later in the show, we learn who the original Martians were, and they don't look anything like this guy. So I'm just curious who he is. And at the Wong Library, inscribed are the names of the Greek philosopher Socrates, Von Savant for Marilyn Von Savant, the person with the highest recorded IQ, and a random made-up name of some alien, I presume, Cognitron. Sounds like a transformer. And it's funny that an episode that aired in October 1999 assumes all memory will be stored on the best format they know, the compact disc. This is when Bender discovers a branch of his robot fraternity, Epsilon Rho Rho, and in the show, they have this spelled out to be air, short for air, which comes up quite often when dealing with computers and such. And while this is a clever joke, it should be noted that the Greek letter rho is actually represented by the Roman letter for P.
You went to college?
Of course, I'm a bender. I went to bending college. I majored in bending.
Inside the house, we are introduced to the fraternity members, a group of robots that I hope make a return in the upcoming seasons. There's Gearshift.
Are you here to fumigate the moose head?
The chapter president, Oily,
mate in 143 moves,
the nerd, and Fatbot.
No, Pooh! You win again!
The compulsive eater. Bender decides it's up to him to liven up this group of dorks, and sends them all on a spree similar to the 1978 John Belushi classic Animal House, including panty raids, a rivalry against the jock fraternity, and getting in trouble with the dean. After leaving the robot house, Fry's academic career is brought into question as a flashback shows Fry at Coney Island with a Homer and Bart Simpson doll in the background, where he presumably failed to finish this carnival ride. Or maybe the prize was the dropout certificate. I don't know. But the professor informs him that that doesn't really meet the academic standards of the times. Fry then decides to enroll at Mars University so he can live up to the potential he has set for himself.
Go Whitefish!
It's during class sign-up that Fry delivers another top-tier line that makes it into this episode's vote as he signs up for the professor's class.
Professor, what are you teaching this semester?
The mathematics of quantum neutrino fields.
Mathematics of wonton burrito meals. I'll be there.
Fry moves into his new dorm and meets his new roommate, an intelligent monkey. Fry's never acted intimidated to people smarter than him before, but for some reason, this smart monkey is a threat to him. Mainly because he doesn't like bananas.
I prefer banana-flavored energy bars made from tofu.
I don't like you.
Gunter, voiced by Tress MacNeille,
I call top bunk!
or Frank Welker when he's not wearing the hat, is a product of the professor, and hopefully one that will win him a Nobel Prize.
It's a little experiment that may well win me the Nobel Prize.
In what field?
I don't care, they all pay the same.
In the classroom, Fry delivers my second favorite moment of the episode. Come to think of it, Fry is responsible for all 3 moments in this episode's vote because the history teacher starts with this.
Be forewarned. The only sure way to get an A in this class is to have lived in the 20th century.
Which he was clearly wrong about, because Fry struggles to answer this obvious question because, well, he's Fry. But Gunter had no problem with it, and he's not even from the 20th century.
Allowed people to view broadcast programs in their own home.
What do you call it? Light bright.
Robot House's attempted panty raid ends in tragedy when the servants' quarters of the Snooty House fraternity is damaged.
I say, you've damaged our servants' quarters.
This time, Robot House has gone too far.
Giving us Bender's first delivery of another one of his iconic catchphrases.
Cheese it!
This little stunt puts them in the dean's office where they're put on
Robot House is on dodeca-tuple secret probation.
a callback to Animal House where the dean puts them on.
Then as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
Leading to Fatbot's habit of eating when he gets nervous.
Fatbot! No!
Bender dropping his second.
Cheese it! Robot House!
The electron must taste like grape aid.
Fry ends up late to class after he sleeps in,
Until 5 p.m.?
blaming it on Gunter, proving that when it comes to a battle of the minds, Fry is at a severe disadvantage. He's not even worried when the professor threatens to have them both neutered.
If you two don't stop fighting, I'll have you both neutered. That'll show them.
And in my attempt to decipher all this nonsense written on the professor's chalkboard, like the super duper symmetric string theory and the neutron encrusted steaming hot dark matter, I can neither confirm nor deny if these equations have any truth to them. And as not to jeopardize my facade of high intelligence, the Witten's dog written at the top seems to be a reference to the Gromov-Witten theory, which is tied to string theory. At Parents' Night, there is a portrait of the dean that Fatbot will eat later. In the portrait, he is seen holding his model ship that Fatbot has already eaten. Amy's parents make another appearance,
How much more for Phi Beta Kappa?
How much you got?
and the professor brings along Gunter's parents. And I've been embarrassed by my parents before, but never flinging shit at my principal embarrassed.
What's that they're flinging at us?
Oh, dear Lord! All over the dean!
This crippling embarrassment makes Gunter lose it and revert back to his primitive ways of eating bananas. Then Fry convinces him to embrace his animal instincts, which he does during a test the next day. Much to the disappointment of the professor.
Why? Why didn't I break his legs?
Now it's time to move into the final act of the episode. Robot House has entered a regatta with the chance of having their probation lifted.
And I will be forced to serve as Grand Marshal of a parade honoring them.
Not before Chet and company from Snooty House get in a snooty remark.
Your watercraft is as ill-designed as you yourselves.
Good one, Chet.
Fry, Leela, and the professor go out in search of Gunter, with what appear to be knockout gas grenades, as demonstrated when the professor clears out this tree.
They'll be fine once the tranquilizer wears off.
Leela suggests having the professor offer Gunter the hat, while Fry offers him the banana. My final entry for best moment.
Consider the philosophical and metaphysical ramifications of
Banana!
But before Gunter can choose, Bender speeds by on water skis, causing a wave that pulls everyone into the river and right towards a waterfall that Robot House conveniently uses to win the regatta.
Robot House!
Fry, Leela, and the professor are trapped on the edge of the waterfall, with Gunter being their only chance of rescue. If only he'd put on his special hat.
Stupid monkey.
When he finally does, he quickly saves them from certain death, and while able to save himself, he contemplates his meaning and if it's all worth it. He ultimately decides it is, but before he can pull himself to safety, the line snaps.
On the other hand,
Luckily, the hat somehow breaks Gunter's fall, And this is something the professor does more than once throughout the show. He's able to immediately tell at what capacity something is after it takes damage.
It seems to be working at only half capacity.
And though he can fix it, Gunter prefers it this way, a monkey with moderate intelligence, delivering some of the worst news the professor could hear.
That's why I've decided to transfer to business school.
No!
Big party in Robot House!
The episode ends in an Animal House style montage, showing different freeze frames of different characters. Fry accomplishing his goal by not accomplishing another thing. But I guess if he never intended to accomplish the thing, it technically doesn't count as not accomplishing it. Gunter, with the writers getting one of their many stabs at the Fox network. Fatbot, who is the real victim of the episode. Leela and the Dean's one date. And Bender doing what he does best, stealing everything in sight.
I love stealing. I love taking things.
Episode 11 is done, and this is an episode I don't think to watch as often as others, but watching it multiple times for this video just reminds me of how many great moments there are. But it's time to vote for one of those moments to be the best. Will it be Fry's attempt at pronouncing the professor's class name?
Hey, Professor, what are you teaching this semester?
Same thing I teach every semester. The mathematics of quantum neutrino fields.
Mathematics of wonton burrito meals. I'll be there.
Please, Fry, I don't know how to teach. I'm a professor.
See you in class.
His inability to remember what a TV was used for.
This is gonna be a cakewalk.
Be forewarned. The only sure way to get an A in this class is to have lived in the 20th century.
Swish! I'm from the 20th century. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Very well. What device invented in the 20th century allowed people to view broadcast programs in their own homes?
Oh, I know this. What do you call it? Light bright.
Or his insistence on Gunter choosing the banana.
Come on, Gunter, take the hat.
No, the banana! The banana!
Consider the philosophical and metaphysical ramifications of
Banana!
Vote now, and be sure to put your favorite moment down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video for episode 12, When Aliens Attack, the introduction to the Omicronians.
Stop stalling!